A gross sweet documentary documentary style. The Last Payphone in Manhattan. A YouTube documentary comedy. Scene 1. News desk. Anchor 1. Serious. Good evening. Today marks the end of an era. At 11:47 a.m., city workers removed the last public payphone in Manhattan. Anchor 2. The phone, located at 745 7th Avenue in Times Square, had stood for 33 years, witnessing countless calls and, according to one source, an unusual amount of chewing gum. Anchor 1. We're joined by Dr. Elena Vasquez, urban historian. Doctor, can you put this in context? Dr. Vasquez, via video, at their peak in 1995, there were 2.6 million payphones across America. New York City alone had 6,000. Today, that number is 0. Anchor 2, 0? Dr. Vasquez, the last one was removed this morning. Replaced by a Link NYC Wi-Fi kiosk, free internet but no dial tone. Anchor 1, no dial tone. That's poetic. Dr. Vasquez, it's tragic. The payphone was a lifeline. A confessional. A witness. Anchor 2, and apparently, a gum repository. Dr. Vasquez, I'm sorry, what? Scene 2, the microbiologist in sterile lab, holding petri dish, based on residue samples from the unit, we estimate 47,000 bacterial colonies per square inch on the top surface. Interviewer, is that a lot? Microbiologist, a toilet seat averages 1,200. So yes. That's a lot. Interviewer, and the gum residue. Microbiologist, we found traces of 14 different brands. Juicy Fruit, Double Mint, Big Red, Trident, Orbit. Interviewer, how much gum, by weight? Microbiologist, checking notes, approximately 2.3 pounds. Interviewer, 2 pounds of gum? Microbiologist, over 24 years. Actually less than I expected. Interviewer, why would someone do that? Microbiologist, behavioral archaeologist Dr. Morton calls it territorial salivation, marking your space with biological residue. Like a dog, but with winter fresh. Scene 3, the city archivist, surrounded by filing cabinets, owned at 745 7th Avenue, was installed in 1989. 9X model, later Verizon. Processed an estimated 1.2 million calls over its lifetime. Interviewer, cost per call? Archivist, started at 25 cents in 1989. By 2022, $1.50 for 3 minutes. That's a 600% increase. Interviewer, who was still using it? Archivist, checking notes, tourists, people with dead phones, and one individual who used it 47 times per year between 1998 and 2015. Interviewer, who was that? Archivist, no name. Just call logs. We've nicknamed him the Gum Guy. Interviewer, based on? Archivist, city removal crew found 2.3 pounds of gum on top of the unit. One user. 17 years. Mathematical correlation. The gum was cataloged. Interviewer, you cataloged the gum? Archivist, we're archivists. We catalog everything. Scene 4, gross stats infographic narrator, cheerful NPR voice, animated graphics, let's talk numbers. Over 33 years, the payphone at 745 7th Avenue, normal stats, 1.2 million calls, 840,000 unique users, average call duration, 4.7 minutes, total talk time, 10.7 years of continuous conversation. Gross stats, saliva exchange, 14.2 gallons, from mouthpiece contact, bacterial colonies, 47,000 per square inch, gum residue, 2.3 pounds, 14 brands identified, lipstick traces, 89 distinct shades, from barely there to crimson fury, earwax deposits, 0.7 ounces, we're so sorry, booger count, unverified, archivists refused to test modal stats, estimated breakups, 12,400, almost breakups, 31,000, reconciliations, 8,200, cost per successful reconciliation, $47.32, adjusted for inflation, percentage of callers who cried, 34%, percentage who cried and retrieved gum afterward, 2%. That 2% is one person. The Gum Guy. Scene 5, Sarah's testimony. Sarah, 40s, coffee shop, oh god, the payphone guy. Yeah, I remember him. He was so weird about it. He'd check if it was working before we met. Like it was a living thing. Interviewer, do you ever use it? Sarah, once. To break up with him. Interviewer, at the payphone? Sarah, laughing, I know. Poetic or whatever. I called him from that exact phone and said it wasn't working out. Interviewer, how did he take it? Sarah, he said, can I call you back? Then hung up and made the phone ring again. Interviewer, he made it ring? Sarah, there was this trick. You hang up, pick up immediately, dial a sequence, it would ring. I don't know if I actually got the call or if it was just ringing on his end. But it was very him. Making the phone call itself to avoid dealing with the breakup. Interviewer: that's Sarah, insane? Yeah. But also kind of romantic. In a disturbed way. Scene 6. The telecommunications expert, telecom expert, 50s, diagrams behind him, ring again phenomenon is real. Quirk of older analog systems. You can create feedback loop that triggers the ringer. Interviewer: so the phone rings but no one's calling? Expert: correct. Phone calling itself. Ghost ring. Person on other end wouldn't hear anything. Interviewer: did people use this for pranks? Expert: constantly. In the 90s, known trick. Make phone ring, someone picks up, silence. Very unsettling. Interviewer: and romantic? Expert: pause, if you're into psychological manipulation, sure. Interviewer: the gum guy used it to avoid a breakup call. Expert: that's not romance. That's delay tactics via telephone circuitry. But also kind of genius. Scene 7. City removal crew, 4:30 to 5:15. City worker, 30s, exhausted. We've removed hundreds of payphones. Usually quick. But this one? Different. Interviewer: how so? City worker: people kept stopping us. Taking pictures. One guy, maybe 50s, just stood there crying. Interviewer: crying? City worker: full-on sobbing. Said he proposed to his wife from that phone in 1994. Asked if he could keep a piece of it. Interviewer: did you let him? City worker: we gave him the coin return slot. He seemed happy. Interviewer: what about the gum? City worker: pause, we have to scrape that off with a putty knife. Took 20 minutes. It was like archaeology. Layer of gum. Different colors. Different eras. We found gum from 1998. It had fossilized. Interviewer: did you keep any? City worker: absolutely not. We're not monsters. Although the archivist wanted it. Interviewer: the city has a gum archivist. City worker: the city has an archivist for everything. That's how we have 847 filing cabinets about one payphone. Scene 8. User testimony, present day user, 40s, quiet room, reflective. I know it sounds insane. A relationship with a payphone. But that's what it was. I'd go through rolls of quarters. My pockets jingled when I walked. Interviewer: how much did you spend over the years? User: calculating, 47 calls per year. 17 years. That's 800 calls. Average 75 cents per call, price kept going up, that's $600. Plus quarters I lost when machine jammed. So maybe $700 total. Interviewer: $700 on payphone calls when you had a cell phone. User: I know. But it wasn't about the phone. It was about that phone. Interviewer: why that one? User: because it was always there. Never moved. Never changed. Everything else in the city was constantly shifting, but that phone? That phone was a constant. Interviewer: and the gum? User, laughing: the gum was stupid. I know. But it was mine. My little ritual. My way of marking territory. Interviewer: like a dog? User: exactly like a dog. But winter fresh and poor judgment. Interviewer: did you ever think about the bacteria? User: not once. Blissful ignorance. Best kind. Interviewer: your last call from that phone? User, voice breaking, 2015. Calling my mom. Hospital. Bad reception on my cell. Needed to hear her clearly. She told me she loved me. I told her I loved her. I didn't take the gum that time. Threw it away. Felt like closing a chapter. She died 2 weeks later. That phone heard me say goodbye. Scene 9. Dr. Vasquez returns, meaning Dr. Vasquez, via video. The payphone represented something we've lost, permanence. You couldn't take it with you. You had to go to it. It required effort. Intention. Interviewer: and that mattered? Dr. Vasquez: immensely. A payphone call was commitment. You couldn't hang up and scroll Instagram. You were there. Present. Vulnerable. People formed attachments to specific phones. We have documented cases of people traveling across the city to use a particular phone because it felt lucky or safe. It's not rational. But it's deeply human. Interviewer: what about the 2.3 pounds of gum? Dr. Vasquez: long pause. That's also deeply human. Just grosser. Scene 10, Epilogue, The Empty Corner, 6:45 to 7 o'clock present day. Corner of 145 7th Avenue. Link NYC kiosk where payphone used to be. User, 40s, stands in front of it. Hands in pockets. Staring. User, voice over, they put up the kiosk 3 weeks after removing the phone. Sleek. Modern. Efficient. Completely soulless. He reaches out. Touches the top where payphone used to be. User, voice over, I thought about leaving a piece of gum. For old time's sake. But it didn't feel right. That was a different era. Different me. He pulls hand back. Looks around Times Square, neon, chaos, crowds. User, voice over, the city moves on. It always does. But I'll remember. The quarters. The gum. The ghost rings. The last call to my mom. He turns. Walks away. Camera holds on empty kiosk. User, voice over, I remember the phone that was always there. Until it wasn't. Fade to black. Text on screen, the payphone at 745 7th Avenue was removed on May 23, 2022. Over 33 years, 1.2 million calls, 12,400 breakups, 8,200 reconciliations, 2.3 pounds of chewing gum, 47,000 bacterial colonies per square inch, 14.2 gallons of saliva exchange, 89 distinct lipstick shades, 0.7 ounces of earwax. The user known as the gum guy has not been identified. The phone is in storage at a city facility in Queens. The gum was discarded. The dial tone is gone forever. End.